Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the 2023 British Grand Prix. Please do drop me a like and please subscribe to the channel if you are into Formula 1. I'm live for every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship and this is round 10. The home race, the big one. Lando, Norris, Oscar Piastri second and third in the McLarens on the grid. And yeah, buzzing for this one. Let's go. Yeah, let's have it. We're about half an hour away from the start, 25 minutes or so. Race start 3 p.m. And that's the grid. So we've got Verstappen on pole. It was close, though. Only by 0.2 of a second he got pole. It wasn't one of those walkover sessions. In fact, when Norris went quickest briefly at the end of Q3, I thought he had beat Verstappen. I celebrated too soon yesterday. As a lot of people would have done, you know, as Norris went quickest yesterday in qualifying, it come up Verstappen like slower in sector 2, and so everyone would have been like, oh my, including me, like, oh my God, Norris has got pole. And then obviously Verstappen puts together a great final sector and nicks it at the end, because he always nicks it at the end. So yeah, Verstappen again, but I'd love to see Lando. I'd love to see Lando have a go in turn 1. You know, he would love, surely he'd love to lead, even if he only leads like a lap. He'd love to lead. Yes, Suede. Welcome in, bro. What up, bro? Right, Martin's on the grid now. I'd love to see Lando go for it in turn 1, you know. Don't make it easy for Max. But incredible pace from McLaren yesterday. I didn't see that one coming at all. Obviously, obviously he was decent in Austria, Norris. But then again, Norris is always decent in Austria, so that wouldn't. Got done with the Man City talk earlier. Do you know? Do you know what was absolutely rubbish? They did like a 20-minute segment on the Ashes cricket. I turned it over. Like in the build up, in the pre-race build up to the British Grand Prix, they had a full 20 minutes about cricket. That is the worst like build up segment you could ever do for a Grand Prix. Cricket. And it wasn't like a 5-minute little bit. It was like a half an hour. There would have been people switching on. Honestly, there would have been people switching on for the race going, oh, this must be the wrong channel. This is the cricket. This is the cricket. They did like half an hour cricket. I was like, what's going on here? Awful pre-race build-up from Sky Sports, that. I couldn't give a flying rat's ass about the Ashes cricket, mate. Can't those cricket matches be like 5 days and it ends in a draw after 5 days? Like, mate, nah. Yeah, that was a weird pre-race build-up. Bottas got disqualified as well from quali yesterday for running out of fuel. I think you've got to at least have like I don't know if it's like 250 mil or a litre. I can't remember. You've got to have some kind of fuel left in the tank at the end of qualifying because they've got to take a sample of it. And Bottas obviously didn't have enough fuel in the car. I think he ran out of fuel on track. Like, it's such a rookie mistake. It's such like a silly thing to do. But yeah, Bottas literally ran out of fuel on circuit, so he's been disqualified from qualifying. So he'd still do the race, but probably from the pit lane, I would imagine. If he's not P20 on the grid, he's probably from the pits, which is a bit of a weird one. But qualifying was really good yesterday. You know, obviously this season's not been the most competitive, but for a few seconds, I thought Verstappen had been beat. Yeah, he shouldn't be running out of fuel, innit? F1. Yeah. Bit disappointing for the Mercedes guys as well in quali. They're only 6th and 7th on the grid. They'd have been hoping for a bit more than that. I think Lewis will come through though. I can see Lewis fighting for a podium. It'd be interesting to see where McLaren actually end up. Starting 2nd and 3rd. I think you'd have good odds on them finishing 2nd and 3rd. They'll just be hoping for a bag of points, really. Load of random celebrities on the grid who've never watched a race in their life. But it is what it is. If you've got the money, it's the place to be, I suppose. I'd love to see Martin go up to one of these like random like movie stars and go, "Can you name 3 drivers?" Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is about? Pep Guardiola's there. Pep Guardiola doesn't watch this. He's busy doing his games, isn't he? So cringe, man. Not long to go. I know, Anto. It's such a shame. It's such a shame, man. Do you know, this race, the last year, had 3,500 people. This year, 3 people. I'm not gonna lie, I'm about that close to giving up on this YouTube gig. It's not worked. This might be the last race, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead out here, bruv. I've tried everything. There's only so long you can flog a dead horse, you know what I mean? There's only so long you can flog a dead horse, and this is a dead horse. Prediction today. I don't know. I haven't got one. Hopefully a McLaren podium, but I don't know, man. Oh, it's that guy. It's the Eurovision guy. Oh, he's a sound him. He's a legend, him, actually. I can't remember his name. Is it Sam? Yeah, Sam Ryder. Yeah, he's a legend, him. Yeah, exactly. I did everything, Anto. You know, I had 3,500 people this time last year watching, and unfortunately, it's gone to 0. So it's a shame. It's a shame, but I had to give it a go. You know, obviously, other people have made success out of doing it, so I thought, you know, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a year and a half. If no one's interested, no one's interested. It's one of them. It's one of them. But the thing is, it's like, how long do you come on and just talk to yourself? Like, there's a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of energy goes into it. And if there's only 2 or 3 people that are interested in it, it's sort of like you've got to weigh up how much energy you're putting in, how much time you're putting in, how much energy, how much effort, how much time versus what you get. Is anyone interested? If no one's interested after 18 months, then at some point you've got to go. It is what it is. There's only so many times you can tweak the thumbnail and tweak the title and put the hashtags in before you realise nobody cares. It doesn't help as well that we've got domination as well. That's not helped. The fact that it's so predictable. The fact that it's so predictable this season, the same guys just winning every race by 30 seconds. Like in Austria, it was a piss take, man. He took an extra pit stop a lap before the end just because he could. Like, that's just mad, that, innit? That's just mad. Like, there's taking the piss and there's taking the piss, man. And if you can do an extra pit stop on the last lap just because you can, to get an extra point for fastest lap when you're 100 points clear in the championship by mid-season, and you do a pit stop to take the piss to get one more extra point over your rivals. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a mad one. This is the last one. Let's go out with a bang. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, Colm. It's just one of them, innit? It's like, it's like, how long do you flog a dead horse for? You know, I'm sat here in 2026 on 420. Like, honestly, it's taken more than a year to get from 3 to 400 subs. It's taken more than a year to get from 3 to 400. So imagine trying to get to 1,000. You're probably talking a decade before even the possibility of like memberships and all that, unlock all that stuff. I'd have to do I'd be looking at a decade to even like get sort of 50p a month out of it. So to do like a decade of watch-alongs for like £1 at the end of it, couple of pound, you've got to weigh it up and go, So you just got to do it for the fun of it, but at some point, it's one of them, innit? Oh, that'll take a couple of years. Yeah, it'll take a couple of years to get to 500. Oh my God, what is this rendition of the national anthem? National anthem performed by Damian Lewis. Oh my goodness, this is weird. Oh no! Listen, it doesn't matter what helps, what doesn't help. If the content's not, if people aren't interested, they aren't interested. It doesn't matter how good the thumbnail is, how good the hashtags are, how good the tags are, how good the title is, all that. At the end of the day. Yo, SHT, how we doing, bro? 1, 2, 3. Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, probably. I'd like to see Lewis come through and get a podium. Also, it'd be great to see one of the McLarens hang on to a podium, but I wonder how long McLaren will be in that second and third position. I think by the time you get to the end of lap 10, you're probably going to be looking at Ferrari second and third, and Mercedes. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like McLaren might end up like 6th and 7th by the end of it, 6th and 8th or something like that. But it'd still be good points for the team. Top 10. Oh, I don't know. Top 10. It's a bit of a stretch in it. Probably be like Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Alonso, Piastri, Stroll. I don't know. Oh no, mind you, Perez is going to come through. Isn't he? Perez will come through. Yeah, I forgot about Perez. Maybe Perez will end up like 4th or something like that. We'll see. For me to say, first Verstappen, second Sainz, third Norris, fourth Hamilton, fifth Leclerc. What? Oh, so you're reckoning McLaren end up with 3rd and 7th? I think they'd take that, wouldn't they? 3rd and 7th. If Norris gets a podium, then that would be massive. Yeah, if Norris gets a podium, then that would be massive. Yeah. Showing replay the Hamilton Verstappen crash from a couple of years ago. Epic season 2021. Epic season. I hope he does, Cole. I hope he does. I hope he does, man. The sport needs him to go full send in turn 1, because if he doesn't, might as well fast forward 90 minutes and call Verstappen the winner. No, I hope Norris does go full send. Sainz also the highest driver in the championship stands that hasn't got a single podium. Yeah. Yeah, I hope Norris gets a podium out of this. Or Piastri. You know, one of them. But I just don't see it, to be honest. I think they'll fade away. I think, to be honest, Ferrari will be quicker in the race than McLaren. I think Mercedes will be quicker than McLaren in the race. I feel like Alonso's going to come through as well. So McLaren will do well to hold on to where they're starting from. You know, they're sort of overperformed. See what Albon can do. Obviously, he was looking quick, but. I would have loved to have seen Albon like top 4, top 5 on the grid, really, and then see if he can hang on to something, but he might scrape a point out of it, Alex. And then what else? We got Hulkenberg outside there. Stroll. I mean, Aston Martin are fading a little bit, aren't they? 9th and 12th on the grid. I can't help feeling like the Aston Martin podiums are going to start drying up a little bit now. They were great the first half dozen races of the season, but it's just started to drop off for them. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it, that Coleman? I was fully backing Alonso at the beginning of the season, like to give Max a challenge. He was the closest competitor to Verstappen at the beginning of the season. You know, like Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the first few races, I was like, yeah, Alonso can really fight for this. And then, you know, the last 2-3 races, it's just faded away to like P7, P8, stuff like that, and it's like. They're sort of being outdeveloped. So at the moment, I mean, they might come with a raft of upgrades as the season goes on, but at the moment they're being outdeveloped by Ferrari, Mercedes, and even McLaren. So it's a shame that it's dropped off a little bit. We'll see, though. I mean, obviously there's a long way to go. This is only round 10 of. I think it'd be 21 races this season. Now there's going to be supposed to be 23 races this season, but China got cancelled and Imola was called off because of the flooding. So we've actually ended up with 21 races. So we're about halfway through the season now. So Aston Martin have still got time to come back a little bit and maybe get some podiums in the second half of the season. But I'm just praying that for next season, Mercedes are caught up. And we get a proper championship fight next season, because 22 and 23 have been and it's such a shame because like the sport's growing a lot, it's getting a lot of new fans, but at the same time, as this sport's being opened up to America and as it's growing. And there's like this Netflix drama series, and then they're doing this movie and all the rest of it. But then they'll tune into the race and they'll be like, "Well, is it that good? Like, it's the same guy winning every week." So it's being promoted very well. But then when people actually sit and watch it, they'll be like, "Not sure." So as it's growing, it's hurting itself with one driver just winning every week. It's hurting itself. If this was a banger of a season this season, as it grows in America, mate, the sport would absolutely skyrocket if this season was actually good. It's just a shame that as it's getting more popular, it's sort of a dead season. It's a weird phenomenon. Like, I feel like a lot more people from the US will be tuning in this year. And then, but then they might not tune in next year because they might be like, oh, well, this is a bit dead, and they might not tune in next year. You see, so it's sort of shooting itself in the foot a little bit. Bum bum bum. Let's go. They're calling it round 11. It's not really, is it? If Imola got cancelled, I'm calling it round 10. This. It was supposed to be round 11, and maybe they just don't want to change all the graphics. A threat of rain for this afternoon's race, really? But I said this the other week, like the amount of times I'd love to see a graph on the amount of times that like rain is a possibility, and then the percentage that rain actually occurs. It must be like 1% of the time. I feel like I feel like in virtually every single race, apart from like your Middle Eastern races, every single European race, they're like, oh, there's a chance of rain. And like 1 in every 100 times they say that, it actually rains. Oh, there is. It does look like a rain cloud in the background there, though. This might be the 1 out of 100 where it does actually rain. I'd back that. Bottas from 20th then. This is the grid. Kevin Magnussen P19. Nick De Vries P18. Zhou Guanyu P17. Yuki Tsunoda P16. Sergio Perez from P15 in the Red Bull. How high can he come up the grid throughout the race? Logan Sargent 14th. Esteban Ocon P13. Lance Stroll P12. Nico Hulkenberg in the Haas P11 then. Top 10 then. On the grid for the 2023 British Grand Prix is Pierre Gasly P10, Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin P9, Alexander Albon in the Williams P8, Lewis Hamilton 8-time winner will start only from P7. Beaten by his teammate George Russell in the other Mercedes P6, it's P5 for Carlos Sainz, fourth for Leclerc in the other Ferrari, and then McLaren sit third and second. It's Oscar Piastri, the Australian, in third. The Brit Lando Norris from the front row alongside championship leader and double world champion Max Emilia Verstappen, who starts yet again from pole position. Can he be beaten in the run down to turn one? I'd love to see it. Come on, Lando. Local schools, I know, all Hollywood, innit? Like, did he really care, these Hollywood movie stars, or are they there to promote a movie? How they work that one out. Right, let's have a good race. Let's have a good race here. Let's have a good race here. Quali was really good yesterday. In fact, Austria last week was a pretty good race as well. I enjoyed that. The Austrian sprint race as well was good. So the first couple of races, well, the first, a lot of the first half of this season has been a bit dead, but Austria was really good last week. So let's have a good race. Come on. Formation lap about to start then. Silverstone celebrates 75 years since racing first took place at the former RAF base in October 1948. Possible race strategies then. So we're looking at a one-stop race starting on the medium tyre, switching to the hard tyre around lap 24. There's also an option of a two-stop, but I feel like it is going to be a one-stop. I feel like generally the British Grand Prix is a one-stop, which is, I don't know, I feel like more pit stops the better. I feel like we should aim for, I think three stops, at least 2 stops in a race is sort of necessary, really. One-stop races, you get no real strategy. You want strategy to come into play. You want tyres that wear out quickly, as kind of bad as that sounds, but there's a bit of rain in the background, you know, a few miles away over there. You never know, we could get a shower. Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it, Carl? That's it, it's raining in Coventry, that's it, you know, we might get a shower. That could spice it up a bit. British Grand Prix weekend attendance, 480,000. Well, let's hope it's a good show for them. Let's hope it is a good race for the 500,000 fans that are there. Unbelievable. As the race starts, the GPS should fire up and you'll see where they are on the circuit, as well as the live timings. Should work. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Lining up on the grid then. Look at Zach Brown, can't even sit on the pit wall, man. Neither would I. If I had a car second and third, I wouldn't be sat on a chair either. I'd be like... Here we go then. There's your man with the green flag. 3, 2, 1. Go on, Lando. Go on, Lando. Go on, Lando. Go on, Lando. Oh, Lando's got the jump. Lando's down the inside. Norris leads the British Grand Prix. Lando Norris leads. Go on, Lando. Defend now into the first hairpin. Defend it. Go on, Lando. He still leads. Oh, be careful of Verstappen diving down there. That's good. Verstappen is down to second and under pressure from Oscar Piastri. Go on then. Piastri into Woodcote. Go on. Go on, Oscar. Oh, Verstappen's having to defend from Oscar Piastri into Woodcote. Oh, Lando Norris does lead the British Grand Prix. For how long? We don't know, but Piastri's looking at Verstappen. Piastri's down the inside of Verstappen, is he? Piastri down the inside of Verstappen has to back out of it. Oh, it was nearly a McLaren 1-2. Hamilton down to 9th, but Russell's up to 5th. Dark clouds overhead. Come on then, guys. Norris leads from Verstappen. I mean, I don't know how long this is going to last. Probably about another lap tops, but still good to say that Lando Norris leads the British Grand Prix. Lando Norris is going to lead a lap of the British Grand Prix. Brilliant. Can't ask for more than that. Hamilton passes Gasly for 8th then. So Hamilton had a bad start, but a bad first opening couple of corners. So it's Norris, Verstappen, Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Alonso, Hamilton, Gasly, Albon, top 10. And Piastri under pressure now from Charles Leclerc, who's in P4. Rain 2 miles away. It's Piastri as opposed to Piastri, but yeah. I know he shouldn't have backed out, but then he would have been a huge incident in there. So, I mean, it's easy to say he shouldn't have backed out, but if I'm in that position, I'd probably back out. Rather than crashing into someone at 150 mile an hour. I don't really fancy that. But yeah, Lewis is on the back of Fernando Alonso for P7 then. I don't know. It's a brave one. It's a brave one to go side by side into cops, isn't it? It's a dangerous one to go side by side into cops. Really, it's not unless you've really got a good run. Side by side into cops is a bit of a dodgy one. Norris still leads, so Norris has. Yeah, done it in the Sims, yeah, exactly. I've done it in the F1 game, why can't they do it? Yeah, one of them. Well, Norris has led 2 laps. That's probably a lap more than what I expected him. So fair play, Norris still leads. Let's go, Lando. Hey, I tell you what, yeah, great start. I tell you what, it was nearly a McLaren 1-2 as well. Oh. We've seen a replay of the start. And yeah, great start from Norris. And Norris went wide at the farm curve. Farm curve. Wow, it's a great start from Lando Norris, that. Great start from Lando Norris. Ah, oh, that's amazing. What a perfect start from Lando. And he still leads, but he's under big pressure now from Verstappen. I hate to say it, but it ain't going to last much longer, but... The crowd are loving this. I'm not surprised. It's brilliant that he... He's got his moment in the sun, so to say. That's brilliant. I mean, he should have won the Russian Grand Prix about 3 years ago, Norris, but that didn't work out. Oh, fair play, man. Fair play, man. The longer he can hold on to this, the better, but I tell you what, Piastri's sticking with Verstappen as well, you know, because they're all... He at least had the speed to say, yeah. Yeah, you can't be doing Russian Grand Prix, can you? Properly cancelled. Suede, it don't matter. Cancelled forever, mate. Lap 5, Norris still leads the British Grand Prix. Okay. Okay. At what point do we take this seriously? You know what I mean? I don't know. If Norris is still in the lead by the time they get to the first pit stops, you got to take this seriously, don't you? Oh, here comes Verstappen, though. Oh, Verstappen takes the lead. Down the inside. Oh, around Luffield they come then, but Verstappen's got the lead. It lasted 5 laps, and fair play, man. Russell up behind the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc then for 4th. Ah, it's a shame. 5 laps in the lead of the British Grand Prix for Lando and Norris. Decent enough. It's he's done well. He's done well there, the lad. Oh, and Russell having a go at Leclerc here. Is he going to go into Vale? Oh, and Leclerc defends it. Cheers aways. Yeah, it was a bit rude, that defence from Leclerc on Russell. And Hamilton v Alonso for 7th it is then. Is he going to get the run into Cops? No. Yeah, Norris gave him the corner. He can't be... It comes to a point where you can't really defend it. You're just going to... I mean, Norris is keeping up with him, though. Verstappen hasn't disappeared into the sunset yet. Norris is looking all right. Oh, Hamilton's got to go for Alonso. Oh, he's backed out of it. I thought Hamilton was going to try and pass Alonso into Vale, but backed out of it. Whoa. Did Russell move under braking? Hey, I had a good fight with George Russell on the on iRacing the other day. Well, a virtual George Russell. Lewis has got to get the job done here. And Lewis gets the job done then, overtakes Fernando Alonso in Brooklands on lap 7. So Russell's on the soft tyres, everyone else in the top 12 on the medium. So yeah, Russell's out of sync. Russell needs to be past these Ferraris and attacking the McLarens to make it worthwhile, starting on the soft tyre. And Perez is battling a Haas, so Perez up to 13th. And there's a bit of a gap opening up between Piastri and Leclerc. Russell needs to pass Leclerc. So Hulkenberg's lost a little piece of his... has lost the end fence of his front wing there, so... Oh, it's Hulkenberg pitted for a new nose. And Verstappen just starts to open the gap on the 2 McLarens now then. I think it's just over a second, I'd say. Oh, he's just about got DRS as Norris and Piastri. Russell's still stuck behind Leclerc for 4th. Then Sainz 6th. Hamilton 7th. Alonso 8th. Gasly 9th. Albon P10. I think Verstappen's just going to break DRS now. Obviously, you've got to be within a second of the car in front to get DRS, and the gap's now 1.1. So Verstappen's clear. It's clear. Yeah, I saw something on Twitter about that apparently Mika Hakkinen said McLaren will catch Red Bull. Forgot this was on. So did everybody else, Kim. Because oh dear. I tell you what, Norris is back within DRS range of Verstappen though. Gap 0.6 of a second. Okay. Russell still behind Leclerc. Russell on the soft tyres. I feel like if he's not got the job done by now, you know, his tyres are going to start fading soon. Swap places, Robbie. I even understand what it's like on my end. Yeah. You won't want to swap places with me. Ocon is retiring from the race, I feel like. I don't know why, but Ocon's out. Replay on board with Lewis Hamilton. What's going on here? Is this a replay of Hamilton's move on Alonso? Pink and black? For what? What's pink and black? Oh, you mean suede? Oh, yeah, he's got the Inter Miami badge. Ooh, we're expecting some lightish rain in a couple of minutes. Okay. Little rain shower. That'll do, innit? That'll do us. Oh, the folks in the pit stop. Oh, the Alpine pit crew, yeah. Perez up to 12th, but it's not made great progress, has he? 15th to Karen Chandok saying the rain will just miss the circuit. No, don't give us that. Come on, let's have a shower. Let's have a rain shower. Verstappen leads by 1.5 seconds over Lando Norris, who leads Piastri by 1.3. Perez on the back of Stroll for P11 then. Rain. Well, there's rain on, you know, there's rain close by, but not at the circuit yet. There is the... there is the possibility of rain, put it that way. It's going to miss us. Yeah, so they're telling Russell on the team radio that the rain's going to miss the circuit. Ah, boo! I would like to see it swayed, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. It might be one of those. It might be one of those where there's rumor of rain, but never actually comes to fruition. I tell you what, Gasly looking pretty quick behind Alonso for 8th, and Perez goes for the move in Stowe on Stroll. So Perez up to 11th then, and next up is Alexander Albon, who sits P10 in the Williams. Lando Norris being asked, can we make one stop? Can we make plan A work? He said, yeah, we can. And obviously plan A will be a one-stop strategy. So, yeah. It's a shame that the Grand Prix are a lot of Grand Prix are one stop these days. I feel like you want 2 pit stops at least to have some sort of strategy differential. 2 or 3 stops, really. 1 is not good enough. I'm not doing the naked rain dance today. I remember about 15 years ago, they were talking about putting sprinklers on the side of the track and then randomly, at random points during a race, just turning on the sprinklers and soaking the track. That was one of Bernie Ecclestone's mad ideas. Never happened. Because this ain't Mario Kart. Oh, Sway, that's horrific. Good old Bernie, you know. He had some mad ideas, Bernie. Yeah, we could do with a bit of rain, really. Verstappen's opened up a 2.5 second gap over, well, 2.7 second gap over Lando Norris now. He's just starting to pull away. At the front. Is he still going? He's still alive. But he's not in charge of Formula One these days. But he's still going. He's probably about 90... 95, something like that. He's into his 90s. He's still going. Don't really see him at races these days. I think he comes to the Brazilian Grand Prix because I think he lives in Brazil. I think he deals in coffee these days. Brazilian coffee beans, I think, these days. Yeah, so get in. Fun fact of the day. Pep Guardiola falling asleep in the Mercedes garage watching the British Grand Prix. Oh, Sunday afternoon nap. Yeah, I knew. As I was saying that, I was like, it sounds dodgy. As I was saying that, as I was saying it, I was like, it sounds dodgy. It's not. But Man City's got enough clout, yeah. On board with Pierre Gasly in P9, closing in on Fernando Alonso. Russell still not past Leclerc, lap 15. He's 3/10 of a second behind, but I can't believe that Russell hasn't got the move done 10 laps ago. And Perez now on the back of Alexander Albon for P10. Come on, let's have a rain shower. Yeah, Russell probably should have gone on to softs. Yeah, I don't know if it's the right idea really. Everyone else on the mediums, apart from like De Vries, Bottas, Sonoda, they're at the back. Of the top, of the top 13, Russell's the only one on the soft tire. Everyone else on the mediums, and no one's really stopped yet. Make it rain, yeah. I tell you what, McLaren have held on to this. McLaren pace is real, man. I thought the Ferrari and Mercedes would be quicker than the McLaren, but at this point, it's looking like McLaren could translate the great qualifying result into a double podium. At this point, the gap between Piastri and Leclerc's 4.3 seconds. I mean, if Russell gets through and he's a lot quicker, then he can close him down. But at the moment, McLaren are looking solid, They might not be able to compete with Max for the win, but they might get two drivers on the podium. Sorry, late to the party, Missy. You said we're closing on Alonso. Gasly. Pierre Gasly. Oh, fuck, you gotta have a laugh, don't you? Exactly, Carl. It's mad, isn't it? 1 week they're at the fighting for last. They have literally been everywhere. Midfield, top 6, back of the grid, fighting for 18th. DNF, mechanical failures, and now up the front fighting for the win. I don't know what's going on with McLaren. I don't know whether it's a terrible car or a great car. Who knows? But they're having a good day today anyway. But they're quicker than Leclerc in the Ferrari, which is a surprise. 4.5 seconds between Piastri and Leclerc. Yeah, Piastri holding on to the back of Norris as well with the DRS. Well, I don't know. He might just be outside of DRS. Yeah, well, Piastri's 1.7 behind Norris, but he's doing very well. McLaren have been everywhere. Yeah. 4 seconds Verstappen leads now. Then Science Team Radio thinking of plan B, which is what? 2 stop. Talking in code, but science has forgotten what the code means. Plan B. He's like, what's Plan B, guys? Oh man. I don't know. Think mine, man. I'm starting to think that Aston Martin have been outdeveloped by Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren. To be honest, yeah. Oh, I think Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren are pushing massively with upgrades. You know, they're scrambling around, bringing B spec cars to races and stuff. All three of those teams have made massive changes to the car since the beginning of the season. And yeah, I feel like Aston Martin have sort of been outdeveloped in the first half of this season. That's I can't help thinking that, because if it's one race where Aston Martin aren't quite on it, you think, oh well, it might be track specific. This is about the fourth race in a row where it might be the third or fourth race in a row where they've not really been in the fight at the front, and it's such a contrast because Alonso started the season off so strong. Those first 4 or 5 races, man, was so strong. I think he had 5 podiums in a row or 5 out of 6 podiums in the first 6. It was mega start to the season and it's just dropped off. Yeah, so Leclerc's pitted and gone onto the hard tyres. Yeah. Yeah, Leclerc's gone onto the hards on lap 20. So he's got 32 laps to do on the hard tyre. He'll do that. Oh, come on, we could do with a rain shower. There's 420,000 fans at the British Grand Prix. Come on. We need a shower, don't we? Verstappen leads by 4.5 seconds over Lando Norris. Three Brits in the top 6. They're thinking about pitting at McLaren, but I think they'll stay out for now. Russell's still out. Russell's still out on the softs. Hamilton catching Sainz as well, it looks like, on the GPS. Yeah, 1.6 seconds between Sainz and Hamilton for fifth. So, I don't know, Mercedes looking a bit quicker than Ferrari this weekend in the race. But McLaren have jumped them all. Apart from Max. Perez is come through from 15th to 9th. 2 seconds behind Gasly for 8th then, so it'll be interesting to see how high Perez can get. If something happens to Verstappen's Red Bull, it'll be a McLaren one too. That'll do wonders for the sport, that. But last year's start season very unreliable. Yeah. They soon sorted that out, didn't they? I think Max DNF'd 2 out of the first 3, didn't he? And still led the championship by about round 7. Madness. Yeah, Hamilton catching Sainz then for 5th. 1.1 is the gap, so it's nearly within DRS range of the Ferrari. Jeff, what? Oh, man. I miss 2021, man. I miss 2021 season so bad. Oh, unbelievable. Unreliable, Jeff. You've heard unbelievable, Jeff. Get ready for unreliable, Jeff. Oh, mate. As Verstappen pulls away in the lead, mate. I mean, there's people paid thousands of pounds for tickets. No. Atmosphere, great, yeah, you know, but jeez. I know, look at those clouds. They do look threatening, don't they, Kim? They do look threatening. They do look threatening, the clouds, but man, we're in desperate need of a little rain shower. Verstappen leads on lap 24 by 5.9 seconds over Lando Norris. I mean, fair play for McLaren having good pace, you know. I did if McLaren get a double podium out of this, it's been a phenomenal weekend for them. You know, you can't take that away from them. You know, if McLaren slap a 2nd and 3rd at the British Grand Prix out of absolutely nowhere, it's crazy, but... Oh... Some excitement. Yeah, Suede. Not been a classic up to now, has it? Not been a classic up till now. The British Grand Prix was one of the highlights of last season. It was a great race, especially the last 10 or 15 laps of the British Grand Prix last season was epic. Yep. I don't remember what happened at the Miami Grand Prix, but I'm sure you're probably right. Yeah. I mean, it was nice that Norris led a couple of laps at the beginning. But since Max has taken the lead on about lap 5, damn, nothing's happened here, Carl. I mean, fair play for Norris leading the first 5 laps, you know. Leclerc catching Stroll then. Leclerc obviously has done a pit stop, is on the hard tyres and gets Stroll into Stowe, P11. Just one sec. Oh man, I don't know. Do we just come back in 2024? I don't know, man. What do you reckon? Do we sit through the second half of the season, try and do watch-alongs on races like this for the next 7 or 8 months, or do we start fresh in 2024 when hopefully the sport will be, well, it'll hopefully be a lot more competitive. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know whether to just... I don't know, man. Because I love this sport, yeah, but this ain't it, man. This ain't the season. This ain't it, man. I've watched every race since the beginning of 2005, and this is probably the worst season I've ever watched. And so it just makes me think, like, do I just chill and watch the second? Like, I'll still watch the races. It's not like I'm not going to watch the races, but it's hard for me to make it entertaining as like a watch along. It's very hard to make a race like this interesting for you, for a viewer to watch me watching that. It's hard to make that entertaining when literally nothing's happening, race after race after race. Now, if I'd have done watch-alongs on the 2021 season, mate, it would have been fantastic. It would have been fantastic for me to portray my reaction of the 2021 season over to you. It would have been fantastic. I feel like the channel would have grown a lot more. It would have been popping off, especially the second half of 2021. But I didn't. I was in a completely different life. I was living in a different country with a whole different set of responsibilities in 2021. I couldn't have done this. So by the time I was set up to do this for 2022, it was okay. First half of 2022 was all right. Second half of 2022, it died off, and it's still dead leading into this season. And now we're halfway through 2023. Unfortunately, the channel's completely dead. You know, we're gaining about 50 subscribers a year. And it's just like, I can't. There's only if every football game that you did was a 0-0 and you were doing watch-alongs, there's only so many 0-0s you could do before you go, do you know what? There's not going to be a goal. There's just not going to be a goal. It's like that. It's like doing football watch-alongs, but every match is 0-0. And it's like, okay, a few 0-0s in a row, you get through it. But imagine like 35 games of 0-0 in a row. It'd start getting a bit like, this is probably going to be 0-0. So I don't know whether to just trundle through the second half of this season regardless and just think, fuck it, I've got me 3 viewers, fuck it, I'll just trundle through it, or just chill the fuck out, let the back end of 2023 happen with nothing happening, and come back for 2024, and maybe it'll turn over a new leaf and things will be exciting again. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I really genuinely don't know what to do, man. Yeah, I don't use Twitter. I don't use Twitter, Simon. I don't use Twitter at all. I used to about 10 years ago. I used to have little F1 arguments with people. Oh, your opinion's wrong. Oh, no, your opinion's wrong. No, yeah. That was like when I was like 16. You know what I mean? That's when I used Twitter, when I was about 16. Little F1 arguments. Oh, this driver's good. No, he's not. This driver needs petty bollocks. So I don't really bother with Twitter these days. But yeah, it's just a hard one. I appreciate that, Zinc Mind, you know, and obviously there's people that tune in. Exactly, that's it, Swade. 35 games 0-0, he might die, you know? But it's true, isn't it? This is a 0-0. Every race this season's been a 0-0 if it was a football game. There's been a couple of chances, you know what I mean? There's been a couple of missed opportunities. But it's 0-0. Whereas the 2021 season, yeah, every race was a fucking 6-5. To put it into football, because I appreciate that a lot of people that watch this are from Denver's channel or Jams's channel. A lot of people that watch this are football fans. So I'm trying to put it in football perspective, you know? But yeah, it's just one of them. It's just one of them. I don't know whether to just trundle through the second half of this season, knowing that I'm probably going to gain 10 subscribers between now and Christmas. I don't know whether to just do that or come back fresh next February, next March, with hopefully the sport having turned over a new leaf. I don't know, man. It's just, it's hard to turn a race like this into something, into an exciting watch along. I'm not gonna lie. 1-0 Max is fucking, it's fucking 36-0 to Max Verstappen. Yeah, I guess that would be a better comparison. It's like one team. It's like doing a watch along. And the same team's winning 18-0 every week. Somebody beat this team, you know what I mean? Imagine he gave up. I know, that's what keeps me going, Zinc Mine. That's what keeps me going, yeah. That's what keeps me going, yeah. The fact that, imagine if I gave up and I missed some absolute belters. Yeah. That would happen. I'd be like, right, guys, I'll come back for 2024. This season ain't it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend for 7 months like this season ain't it. Well, let's come back for 2024 when Mercedes have caught up and Ferrari have caught up and we get a good races, yeah? Sainz is passing Stroll, I think. Yeah, Sainz passes Stroll for 10th, you know what I mean? That's as good as it gets. But yeah, that'll be just the way of it. I'd be like, yeah, this season ain't it. We'll come back for 2024 and then second half of the season be incredible. Oh, I don't know, man. George Russell's had a bad pit stop. Why did they try and put the soft tyre back on? I don't know what to do, man. That's it. That's the danger, innit? So do we just trudge through it? Do we just trudge through it and say, and be just, we get what we get, you know? I can't pretend, and just enjoy it for what it is this year. I have a chat with the handful of people that I've got, and just roll through. And then once we get to like pre-season testing next season, I'd love to go to pre-season testing. Actually, I might try and go to Bahrain for pre-season testing next season. But that's when it'll get exciting again. Like February 24 is when is when I will be seriously excited about this sport again. I'm not going to lie. So I can either trudge through. We've got the handful of you in here, and I appreciate every single one of you. Know, big ups, man. But I've got to balance it. I've got to think. I'll sit here for an afternoon and make the intro for the race. Stuff like that. It's like, is it worth it? Someone spin, yeah. I've lost track of what's even up. So the top four haven't pitted then. So Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Alonso still out there. Gasly pits. The thing is, Carl, you could say that for every race of the last calendar year. If he crashes now, we'll get a good race. you could say that for every race. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. I think McLaren has screwed Norris up as well. It's looking like Piastri's on the better strategy. Pit stops are happening. Try to do like do intro just straight off on that. Yeah. You got to balance out how much effort you put in for. Oh, I think one of the Haas has blown an engine. Oh, he's got a fire. Kevin Magnussen has stopped. Oh, safety car. Oh, this could change things a little bit. So one of the Haas, Magnussen, is out of the race down the Wellington Straight. VSC at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a full safety car. Yeah, I would prefer that, St. Mind, yeah. Mandatory 2 stops. Yeah. And you have to use all 3 compounds at some point. I back that, They were talking about that. I don't know if it was Martin Brundle or someone else was talking about that. But I actually back that, yeah. I think that'd be a great idea. You've got to do 2 pit stops and you've got to use all 3 compounds of tyres at some point in the race. I think that'd be a great idea. I think that would seriously improve things a lot, yeah. Because you'd have to think, like say the hard tyre is rubbish, everyone's got to use it at some point. So then you get strategies of like, well, should we start on the hard tyre and then just get it out of the way? People will be doing like 2 or 3 laps on a tyre and then pitting again to get it off. And it would create a lot of different strategies that if you had to use all 3 tyre compounds and you had to do 2 pit stops, that'd be mint. Anyways, full safety car. WTF. Bring back 80 style racing. Bring back 2021, man. I'm not sat here with rose-tinted glasses on going, it was better back in the day. It wasn't better back in the day. It was better 18 months ago. You don't have to go back 35 years. You only have to go back 18 months. So Verstappen is coming for the soft tyre. Okay. Oh, is Norris coming in for the hard tyre? Verstappen, they put the soft tyres on Verstappen and the hard tyres on Norris. Hamilton, they put the soft, not a new set, a scrub set of softs on Hamilton's Mercedes. Okay, how is this going to play out? I do not know how this is going to play out. I think Lewis might be up to 3rd. We might be in a scenario where it's Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, top five. Well, it's worked out well for Lewis, this. Norris asked for soft. No way. Well, it's thrown a spanner in the works, I guess, this. Piastri going to end up front? I don't think so, you know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it should mix it up. I hope it does. Oh, what a shame. I could have done with it being a really good season this season. I could have done with that, you know. Wheeling the Haas off into the grass. You don't really see a lot of engine failures these days. So you don't really see a lot of unreliability in Formula One. We've seen a replay of the retirement of Kevin Magnussen. A little bit of a fire he had. Someone needs a careless move, yeah. I wonder how this is going to play out. It's changed it up a little bit. It's definitely helped out Lewis, that's for sure. Hamilton up to third with all this safety car action. But yeah, we'll see. They've still not got rid of. They've still not got rid of Magnussen's hat. It's still smoking there, and it's not behind the barriers yet. Maybe it was an awkward place to break down. Look at that. They're still stuck with the car on the grass verge there. And it's still smoking a lot. Red flag? I don't know, man. Has needs to stick to NASCAR and IndyCar. No, we need them in. More teams, the better. We need more teams. We don't want to. We don't want to get rid of any teams. We need 11, 12, 13 teams. Bringing a recovery vehicle on. They'll probably just keep it a safety car, but it'll be another. You could end up with another 5, 6 laps behind the safety car here. Easy. So it'll be Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri. Russell will be 5th. Alonso, Sainz, Perez, Albon, Leclerc. So it's not worked out well for Leclerc at all, this. Leclerc was about 4th at the beginning, opening stages of the race. Down there in 10th now. Gasly outside the points then. So is Stroll. Sargent 13th. Bottas, Tsunoda, De Vries. Not been great. It's not been a good weekend for Alfa Romeo, Alfa Tauri, or Haas. This, I say, in terms of pace, they've definitely been the slowest 3 teams. With Williams improving. Here we go for a replay of Russell Russell versus Leclerc back on lap 31. Whoa, right on the outside. IMSA getting Lambo. I know. I should follow that more closely. Yeah. Or not particularly IMSA, but WEC. And IndyCar as well. I need to start following IndyCar. I think there's a couple of things for next season. I think I want to follow IndyCar a lot closer, and some of the endurance races. Yeah, man, you've got to broaden your horizons. This is dead at the moment. You think the Audi team's going to work out? Well, I think that'll be the next big shake-up, isn't it? 2026. Hopefully, we get a great season in 24. Hopefully 24 and 25 are great anyway, and Mercedes have caught up and all the rest of it. But really, the next big shake-up's 26. That's the next sort of. And I reckon. Audi will do well. I think Audi pretty much bought Alfa Romeo, haven't they? So I wish they were coming in as an 11th team. I hope we get an 11th team for 2026. Whether it's one of the F2 teams steps up, whether we get Andretti coming in or something like that. I'd love to see an 11th team for 2026. Ferrari has been better on SEC and IMSA. Yeah, WEC and IMSA, yeah. Yeah, Ferrari won Le Mans, didn't they? A few weeks back. Mind you, though, I couldn't do watch-alongs on endurance racing. Can you imagine that? And now, welcome to the 6 hours of Bathurst. We are 4 hours and 38 minutes into this race. Can you imagine that? I couldn't do that, but maybe IndyCar next year, But I've got a lot to learn. But maybe we'll look at IndyCar next year, Then I've got something to fall back on if it happens where it's Verstappen domination again in 24, then maybe I'd have something to fall back on, which would be a great IndyCar season. You know what I mean? You got to start making other arrangements. Nah, this will spice it up anyway. The safety car's still out there, but it should be coming in soon. Yeah, do 24-hour race. Yeah, with Dev. Mate, Dev would be asleep after lap 3. He's not into racing, is he? He'd just be on the tunes and the drinks. Yeah, there's no way I'd do a. Imagine that, Le Mans watch-along. Let's go. 18 hours in. No, not for me. But IndyCar, maybe. IndyCar's more reasonable. If I learn what's what, who's who, what's what, where's where, then maybe. Maybe. Because it'd probably be a little more unpredictable than this. Although, yeah, I'm slating this, yeah, but we've got a safety car. This can all change. Tag team it. Oh, do it in stints. Yeah. Yeah, we do it in stints, innit, Kim? You do a couple of hours. I do a couple of hours. Someone sleeps. Yeah, I could do with a co-commentator as well for next season. That'd be good, wouldn't it, as well? You know what I mean? Safety car ending. That French bloke is out of the points. Damn, son. Right, so lap 38 out of 52 and the safety car period is ending and we are going to get a quick maths 14 laps sprint. 14 lap sprint to the end of the British Grand Prix. Florence Pugh, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. But you don't know who I am, do you? So it's all fair beans. Right, let's go. Well, I mean, really, the safety car, in a nutshell, has really helped Hamilton, has really hindered Leclerc. So get in. Right, here we go. Safety car period is ending. Come on, let's see some good racing between now and the end. Everyone close back together as a bunch. Come on, let's have a good 14 laps now. Because I wasn't even, I'm not going to lie, I was barely paying attention for the middle part of this race. But yeah, let's have a good 13, 14 laps now. Race resumes then. It's Verstappen from Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, Alonso, Sainz, Perez, Albon, Leclerc, top 10 as they file into the Vale chicane. Oh, and Hamilton's all over the back of Norris. Hamilton all over the back of Norris for second. Oh, you can't collide though, guys. These are the two home favourites. Oh, Lewis has a look into Village. But Lewis looking racy on the soft tyres then in third. And he's right behind Lando Norris for second. We could end up with two Brits on the podium. Norris defends it. Oh, and they go through this. They go through the water. Oh, Norris and Hamilton battle in the British Grand Prix. But you got to be careful. Don't touch, guys. Oh, and Norris defends from Lewis. Round Woodcote. Oh, now into Copse. Oh, careful, guys. And Norris defends into Copse. Hamilton trying round the outside. Gives it a go, but Norris defends it. Lap 39 of 52. Hamilton and Norris battling for second at the British Grand Prix. Whew. Let's go. Stroll passes Gasly for 11th. In the background there into Vale. Fastest lap for Max Verstappen, already leads by 2.1 seconds. Jeez. $12 laps to go. And Hamilton all over the back of Norris still through the first couple of corners. Come on, because I feel like he can challenge Max. Maybe. I feel like Lewis has got more of a chance of challenging Max than Lando Norris has, so I'd prefer to see Lewis ahead. Oh, and Lewis goes down the inside. Woodcote. Oh my God, we're side by side for second place. Lando Norris versus Lewis Hamilton as they're going into Copse, and that McLaren's quick down the straight, and Hamilton has to back out as they head into Copse then on lap 40. And Lando Norris still holds on to second place then. Oh, that McLaren's quick down the straights, you know. Oh, they'll get a Stroll past. Shut up, man. Try to catch me out every time. I get baited by that every time. Ferrari second and fourth. Who leads that? Toyota. Big up Kamui Kobayashi. Kamui. Kamui Kobayashi was one of my favourite drivers. He was brilliant, Kobayashi. He's made a hell of a career in WEC. Oh, and now he's got DRS, has Lewis. Verstappen is pulling away. I feel like Lewis... Oh... Replay on board with Lance Stroll into Stowe. Okay, so he's been pushed wide by Gasly. Perez on the back of Sainz for 7th. I tell you what, it's not worked out well for Ferrari this race. It's not worked out for Ferrari this. 7th and 10th they are. I have no idea, Zinkmind. I have no idea why Lando Norris is on the hard tyre. Why both McLarens are on the hard tyres. I can only think that they didn't have any soft tyres left to go at. I don't know. Can use any size engine they want as long as they use the battery F1 has. I know, I do like that hypercar class in WEC, actually. Oh, Lewis is close into Cops. Here they go, heading to Maggots and Beckett's then. Hamilton right behind Lando Norris. Oh, imagine if this was for the lead. I can't help thinking, like, if Max just didn't exist and this was for the win. This race would go from a 3 out of 10 to a fucking 10 out of 10. If Verstappen just wasn't there, man. This would be incredible. 10 laps to go in the British Grand Prix. I think Lando might have enough. I think Lando might have enough to hold him off here. I don't know, man. But this race has come alive with the safety car period. It's really livened it up. This battle for second is good. I mean, if it was the battle for the lead, it'd be incredible. Battle for second, it is good. The two Brits. If this was for the win, oh my God, I don't even better thinking about how good it would be. The two Brits are fighting for the British Grand Prix victory. Oh my God, it'd be incredible. But it's always going to be Max 4 seconds up the road just chilling in the lead. But Lewis is close by the time they get to Stowe with the DRS. Perez on the back of Sainz. Here we come then into Vale. Is Perez going to try it? Oh, he is going to try it. Oh, Perez diving down the inside of Sainz. Oh, and the switchback. Oh, nice switchback from Sergio Perez. And out of the final corner. Oh, and here comes Alexander Albon on the Ferrari. Go on then. Alexander Albon with a great move on Sainz into turn 1. Albon up to 9th. And here comes Leclerc round the outside of his teammate. Woo! Sainz loses 3 positions in 3 corners then. Oh, it's not worked out well for Ferrari this race at all. 9th and 10th they are now, just overtaken by a Williams. Albon in the Williams. Yeah. Williams slices past Ferrari in the top 10. Go on. Go on, Alex, lad. It's great racing in the midfield. Gasly looking rapid. Gasly's teeing up. Sainz into Cops. Ooh. Gasly's just gone round the outside of Stroll and now is lining up the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, who's on the hard tyre. Hard tyre's not the one to be on. Denv put a message on go on Denver's YouTube channel. He's put a message saying he's back on Thursday or something. He's put a message for everyone saying that when he's doing his next stream. I think it's next week. The Arsenal playing a friendly or something. I saw it. He's put a paragraph like, "Hi guys, sorry not being around, whatever, no football. I'm back next week," or something. So have a look at that, Kim. He's back soon. But yeah, lap 45 out of 52. We just need Max to get a point. I know. Ferrari's more focused on winning Monza. They won't win Monza though, will they? Bro check soon. I know. Because it's a football fan community, innit? So when it's no football on, everyone's just going to sort of do their own thing for the summer. So it's to be expected, Kim. It's the off season for that community, but for me, it's fully on. And Sainz passes. Well, Sainz has had to defend from Gasly there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to check in with people every now and then. Oh my God, I think Gasly's got damage. I think Pierre Gasly's got damage. Yeah, I think Gasly's got a broken suspension out the rear. Yeah. Pierre Gasly. He's out, man. He's out of the race. I'm pretty confident in that. And Perez looking at P6. Perez up behind Alonso. Alpine does better in WEC too, yeah. Yeah, Gasly in the bin. Unfortunately. V8 twin turbo. I wish they still ran V8s on here. V6 turbo hybrid, innit? Never really been a fan of these I've just seen a replay of how Gasly got his broken suspension. I think it's Lance Stroll. Oh, and Stroll gives him a shove and just snaps it. Yeah, Stroll has just shoved Gasly and just broken something at the rear. Yeah, just snapped a rear suspension on Gasly's car. A proper shove, that. Second Red Bull pull it out on race day. Yeah, Perez, nightmare in quali, but then pulls it back in the race. Not really ideal, though, is it? For Ferrari, do 2.9 V6 turbo. I wonder how much slower their hypercar would be per lap than an F1 car. Do you reckon it'd be about 5 seconds a lap slower, do you reckon? If Ferrari ran their hypercar in this race, how much slower would it be, do you reckon? I reckon it's not as much as 10 seconds. But I don't think it'd be as close as, like, 2 or 3. I think it'd probably be, I don't know, hard to say. It wouldn't be that far behind, would it? What, about 5 or 6 seconds a lap slower, I reckon. Yeah, 5 to 10. It wouldn't be crazy. Just show how fast a Red Bull is, yeah. They do it on purpose. Yeah, let's have one start from the front and one start from the back, just to show how good we are. So there's the one at the back can come through. It's all GG's. Look, there's the Hollywood celebs. They don't even watch the race, man. They just don't even watch the race, man. They go on the grid at the beginning, and then they go back into the champagne lounges. They don't even watch the race, man. Are they arsed? Shakira, Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that. Like 48 out of 52. Verstappen leads Norris by 3.7 seconds. Norris has got Hamilton covered off. 1.5 is the gap. We could end up with 2 Brits on the podium, though, so that'd be a decent day, but... yeah, get in there, Lee. Get in there, D Brits. Yeah, 2 Brits on the podium. I don't know if that's ever happened before, because Jenson Button never got on the podium. I wonder if we ever had 2 Brits on the podium at the same time at the British Grand Prix. Maybe like Mansell and Herbert, maybe. God knows. Or maybe Johnny Herbert and David Coulthard, maybe. You'd have to go back a little bit. Um, 1999. What would that be? Like Coulthard and Johnny Herbert, something like that. Who knows? Oh, Coulthard and Hill, maybe. Maybe, but then, mind you, 96. But they sort of came after one another, though. I don't really. Maybe. Three laps to go. I'm surprised that Norris held on to that second place from Hamilton. So fair play, man. Fair play. Norris is being voted driver of the day online or whatever, but I back that. Yeah, Norris driver of the day. Lance Stroll, 5-second penalty for giving Gasly a shove that broke his rear suspension. So it's quite a hefty shove, that. Not worked out for Ferrari. This has been a stinker for Ferrari, this. 9th and 10th. Being beaten by Alexander Albon. Albon's looking at P7 here. Go on, Albon. Sargent's P12 as well. Sargent's not that far behind, you know. Go on, Logan. I'd love to see Sargent get a point, but it's running out of laps. 2.5 laps to go. But Albon's looking at a P7 here if he can pass Alonso. Go on, Alex. Doing very well. More focused on Monza. Yeah, but they're not the fastest car down the straights, are they, Ferrari? So, I don't know. I don't expect miracles in Monza in about 4 races' time. Florence Pugh is going to wave the checkered flag. I don't know who that is. Why? Who's she play? Well, why? Who is she? What role does she play? Oh. Nah, I've never seen it. Never seen her before in my life. Come on, Alex. Shocking they won it last year then, Joe. As a racing team, sure they would rather win the home race in WEC. Oh, more focused in Monza. Oh, in the hypercars. I thought you meant they're more focused on the Italian Grand Prix in like 4 races time. I was like, why does that make sense? Oh, you mean they're more focused on the hypercar series? Probably, yeah. They've got getting a lot more success with that, aren't they? They're looking really quick at that. Yeah, exactly. Monza going on right now simultaneously. Yeah. Yeah. Adrian Newey designed the Aston Martin Valkyrie road car, so it's going to break F1 lap record at Silverstone. There's a Porsche 919 Evo is quicker than an F1 car, so it's been done before. Oh, Albon's going to get overtaken by Charles Leclerc going into Brooklands on the final lap. Albon's holding on to P8 here. We're going to have 2 Brits on the podium at the British Grand Prix. Fair play, man. I mean, obviously Verstappen's won it, but fair play having 2 Brits on the podium. Norris 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Piastri 4th, Russell 5th, Perez 6th, and then we've got this battle, Alonso, Albon, Leclerc. Oh, Leclerc's right behind Albon here. This is really close. Come on, Alex, hold on. Come on, Alex, hold on. Verstappen wins the British Grand Prix. 6 in a row. 6 races in a row is won. But Lando Norris P2, great result. And Hamilton finishes 3rd. Piastri 4th. Well, 2 Brits on the podium. Can't complain with that. It's a good day out for the punters. And Russell 5th. Perez 6th. Alonso 7th. Albon P8. Great for Alexander Albon. And Ferrari dropped to Bollock 9th and 10th. Sargent was 11th in the end. Sargent nearly got a point out of that. But Verstappen wins. 2 Brits on the podium. I'll give the race I give driver of the day, Lando Norris, definitely. To lead a few laps. Very quick. Yeah, driver of the day, Lando Norris. I'll give the race a... I'm thinking 4. I'm thinking 4 out of 10. I give the race. Maybe a 5. Maybe a 5. Might as well watch the last 2 hours. Yeah, I might switch it on. I'll see the podium here and stuff. Great result for McLaren. Yeah, it's pretty epic for Lando Norris to finish second there. Yeah, pretty epic. For that alone, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. WRC. Yeah, World Rally. They're the best drivers in the world, really. The World Rally Championship guys, low key, they're the best drivers in the world. I know these are the famous ones, and these are the ones that I like to think of, that these are, the most elite drivers in the world, but really, the guys in World Rally Championship, they are incredible. But yeah, Stream Monster, I'll pay you. Nah. No, because I don't know enough about it to talk about it, Suede. I don't know enough about it to give a worthy opinion on it. I don't know enough about it. I don't really watch it, so I just sat there going, I don't know. I don't know the drivers. I only know like the big names. 3 or 4 of the drivers out of like a grid of like 70 drivers or whatever. Well, more than that, it'd be like 3 per car. You know what I mean? Heard of 3 drivers out of about 200. It's not really representative, is it? But yeah, that was all right in the end. I mean, it's a shame that there's no real competition for Max. They're trying, but it's very difficult, isn't it? Max Verstappen's dominance is killing off this channel as well, to be honest. Because it's killing me off, so then I don't have the enthusiasm. And then if I don't have the enthusiasm, it's not going to gain more viewers. So if it's not going to gain more viewers, the channel's not going to grow. So I blame this dead channel on Max Verstappen. But it's probably true, because if there was a different winner every week, best believe I'd be bouncing off the ceiling. You know what I mean? If Hamilton was fighting Alonso, fighting Perez, fighting Leclerc for the championship, best believe there'd be furniture flying around the room. I'd be off the Richter scale. So then it would bring people would click on the stream and go, bloody hell, this guy's nuts. I'm definitely gonna tune in next week. And so then everything would then start to gather some momentum if the races were actually good. But with the same guy winning every week, there's only so long I can go, woohoo! And then next week, woohoo! And then the week after that, woohoo! And then the week after that, please someone else win. And then the week after that, please. The week after that, oh, God's sake, again, Verstappen. And the week after that, oh, it's still Verstappen. And the week after that, 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 Verstappen. And you know what I mean? There's only so long I can go for on an empty tank of gas. And the tank is fully empty. In terms of my sort of... yeah, we're running on empty, guys. We're running on empty. So we'll see about the next race in Hungary. If I'll decide during the next fortnight whether I just want to trudge on, knowing that it's the same driver winning. Max will probably win every race from now to the end of the season. And so it's a decision whether I just trudge along with that or come back fresh for 2024 and just, right off the second half of the season. I don't know. I'll decide over the next couple of weeks, so we'll see. I don't know. It's just kind of a bit... I don't know, and I feel like it's really affecting. Like I'm going live, and I've not got the same energy that I had at the beginning of this season. Definitely nowhere near the same energy as I had last year. You know, I'm going live, and I'm going. Yeah, British Grand Prix, and it hurts me to know that I've not got that same fire because I know who's already going to win before it starts. So I haven't got that fire of thinking, who's going to win this? We're in for a great race. I can't wait for this one. Unfortunately, that fire at the moment is burnt out because there's no competition. People give it a go. You know, Lando led for a couple of laps. Was he ever going to win it? Of course he wasn't. You know, Fernando led in Saudi Arabia, but was he ever going to win it? Of course he wasn't. It's just I'm running on empty in terms of trying to fire myself up for thinking that something's going to happen, because it ain't going to happen. Max is going to win every single race, and yeah. So I don't know. I would just trudge through it anyway and think, and then maybe if I trudge through it, I mean, I'm going on a waffle now, but whatever. Maybe if I trudge through it, and then we get to 2024 and it's much better, and hopefully, you know, one of the teams challenge Max, whether it's Mercedes who are quick, McLaren who are quick, Aston who are quick, Ferrari, whoever. Maybe when he gets challenged, then I can look back and say, oh, well, 2023 was crap, but we got through it, and now we get to a good season, you know? Maybe I can say that rather than going, oh, well, we give up for a year. You know, maybe I can look back at 2020. If I trudge through it, maybe I can look back at 2023 and go, it was crap, but we got through it. I don't know, man. It's just. You need a championship battle. The race can be as good. The battle for 8th place can be as incredible as you want. The battle for 4th can be unbelievable all race long, but it doesn't really matter, does it? If the same driver is out front and there's no competition for the actual win, it doesn't matter how good the battle is for 12th. It doesn't matter how good the battle is for 6th. It doesn't matter how good the battle is for 2nd. It was a great battle for 2nd between Norris and Hamilton at the end there. But the elephant in the room is Max is 5 seconds up the road, and he's going to win anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, does it? So the battle for the other positions can be as good as they want, but the same guys winning out front, man. It's all not for nothing, but it's not the main story, is it? It's not the main story, man. I mean, it's a great result for Norris. It's true though, Kim, isn't it? It's true though. It's true though, you know. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing with Formula One. Not every year is a banger. Not every year is a great season. In fact, it's like 1 in 5. That's just the reality of it. It's like 1 in 5 is great, and the other 4, if you're a hardcore fan, you'll watch it and you'll enjoy it. Like I still enjoy it. I'd never not watch it, but it's not a thing of like, oh, I'm not liking it at the moment. Like, oh, I'll watch something else. No, I still enjoy watching it, and I'd still obviously watch it because it's a part of who I am. But is it entertaining enough for me to portray it as something for someone else to watch? No, it's not that good. Is it good enough for me to sit on a Sunday afternoon with a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich and sit and relax and enjoy it and watch it and enjoy the Formula One? Yeah, it's good enough for that. Is it enough for me to produce an entertaining piece of content for someone else to watch me reacting to it? No. That's what it boils down to. It's not good enough for me to get that excited about it to give an entertaining. So that's the harsh truth of it. So see you in 2024. No, I'll probably trudge through the end of this season, but I'll probably, because it's not fair just to leave the channel dead for 9 months, is it? It's not fair, really. It's not ideal, that. So I'll probably trudge through, but probably what I would say is the energy will probably be a little bit different. There'll probably just be a lot more general chit chat during the race, rather than me going, if I carry on to the end of this season, it will be a bit different. It's not going to be me giving it, the gap is 7 seconds between Albon and Leclerc for P12. It'd probably just be more of a casual thing between a couple of mates having a chat, rather than me trying to do a serious commentary job. But yeah, anyway, on the plus side though, 2 Brits got on the podium, so that's good, yeah. I'll probably back for Hungary, because if I don't, it'll be a banger of a race, and people will be looking for the channel going, why is Rob not live? And it'll be the best race ever, and I won't be doing it. So I'll probably just do it. I'll probably do it anyway, just because. But yeah, but you can't expect the energy levels that I've had, because the actual excitement in the race isn't matching the energy that I'm trying to give off, you know? And so at some point I've got to just hold the white flag up and go, I'm struggling to make it entertaining, basically. I'm struggling to make it an entertaining piece of content to watch. Because I know, and everybody knows, before we even get to Hungarian Grand Prix in 2 weeks, we know who's going to win it. And we know who's going to win the race after that. And we know who's going to win the race after that. And so I'm struggling to make that entertaining. So join me. But yeah, we'll keep going. But, Pierre Gasly. Yeah. So yeah, peace out, guys. Yeah, if you have enjoyed it anyway, please do drop me a like, and I'm sure I'll be back. I'm just disappointed because it's the British Grand Prix. I wanted it to be a great race. I'm disappointed at the fact of the fights in the midfield are great, but the same guy's winning every day, and it just disappoints me deep inside, and I can't hide that disappointment anymore. Two Brits on the podium though. Cheers, guys. Yeah, I'll probably be back for Hungary. Listen, I can't. I'll just trudge through it. We'll just get through it, and it'll just be a chit-chat vibe. We'll just have a chat amongst ourselves for the next 12 races. Get through it, have a waffle, be chilled out, and then for 2024 we go again, fresh start, new leaf, and hopefully we get a great championship battle and all the rest of it. It's competitive, and then I build up all the enthusiasm again, and come for 2024 we go again, and then maybe the channel gets some momentum and we start to go somewhere. But yeah, peace out, guys. Thank you for joining me for the British Grand Prix. Two Brits on the podium, so it's not completely dead rudder, still a decent race. Two Brits on the podium, but obviously who's won again. So yeah, see you soon, guys. Peace out, and see you for Hungary in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you for joining. I appreciate every single one of you. Peace out, guys. Two weeks, Kim. Save.